Thing about their previous match, Adam actually won a match against Hongtao at the North American Team Championships last year in November. A very hard-fought match. And in the match previously at this tournament, Adam controlled him a lot with the serve variation. He pulled some really weird serves out of the bag, some serves with the backside of the racket that pinned Hongtao on the backhand side, and Adam was able to attack off those. The interesting thing is going to be how Adam deals with Hongtao's serve.
And here we go.
And Adam with a quick serve down the line right off the bat and just overplaying after he got the advantage in the point.
Very rare to see Adam up at the table and his opponent to be lobbing and winning the point against him. Again, this is the best of 7 round robin play in the third and final tournament here in Cary, North Carolina. The North American 2012 Olympic Games qualifying tournament. We hope you've enjoyed all these matches that we've been web streaming through Universal Sports in association and cooperation with the ITTF and USA Table Tennis.
There, Adam with the backhand opening. He likes opening with his backhand off of Hongtao's serve. Just a little bit high there on the serve. Hongtao having no trouble putting it away.
There's some power from Adam Hugh. Really a nice heavy spin off that third ball, followed by a very powerful forehand.
That's what Adam needs to stick with. He needs to stay disciplined. Even when he spots an opening to go for power on the first ball, he's much more effective where he can get in that slow, heavy spin that Hongtao can't time for the counterattack.
Hongtao with a very quick backhand off the bounce. Adam with a little bit more power on the backhand.
Adam has great spin off of sort of one backhand shot, one backhand opening on the backhand, but I think if it goes to a backhand to backhand, Hongtao, despite not having much power on that side, can control Adam.
Really seems, Han, that all the Canadians are very strong at controlling the tempo on the backhand, playing it over the tabletop, not only playing it deep on the table, but to the wide corner, so you really can't step around the ball, just like we saw there.
What's interesting, though, that other than Pierre-Luc Ince, who we saw play earlier, none of the Canadians really like to do much on the backhand side other than control the ball. They really end up just blocking and rolling the ball back on that side of the table.
See Adam trying to force and get that backhand into play on a serve to the center. Those are always tough angles to create. Very aggressive loop there by Adam, putting two together.
I haven't been overly impressed by Hongtao's reverse pendulum serves. He seems to like to use them here and there, but they haven't been very effective.
Very well executed. Hongtao thought that was a net serve, and Adam's actually agreeing that it was a net serve.
But there you can see the amount of spin Adam gets with that reverse pendulum of his. It's one of the best in the country.
But he's looking a little bit slow on his feet right now, taking a swing without getting fully into position. He's got to do much more than just give him heavy serves. Beautiful counterattack by Adam Hugh.
Hongtao really loves to take that counter loop when he turns the corner down the line. Adam, knowing this tendency, having played him a couple times, definitely camped in that corner waiting for that shot.
Probably had to hold himself back, knowing that it was the likely place that Hongtao would go in order to keep the timing.
A little bit slow to react from Adam. It's a little bit of a pop-up on the serve receive from Hongtao. Adam can't afford to be playing tight at this point. He's already really dropped a really lopsided match to Barney Reed. Needs every point in every game he can get here.
If he does win this match, it really could come down to the point differential. But Adam is not a person to give up on a loose ball or not fight for every ball. He's normally knocking down at least one set of barriers per match. And that's game number 1 to Hongtao Chen of Canada, comfortably taking the upper hand, really from the tactical standpoint, not really giving Adam anything to work with. It's the best of 7. Right now, let's see if it's possible we might be getting into one of their corners. Or let's put the coaching hat on you, Han. If you're Adam's coach, what do you say to him?
Right now, Adam just doesn't have a clear idea of what he wants to do from a tactical standpoint. He doesn't know what types of returns are coming back from his serves. Essentially, he's a little bit slow to react. He needs to know what to expect. Considering Hongtao is a player who's really going to give you the opening. He's not going to control you as tightly as a player such as Pierre-Luc Hintz. He's going to push the ball out to you, and Adam's going to have to expect that he's going to get the opening. You can't be surprised by that, and essentially giving away free point scoring opportunities.
Let's see what ideas Adam brings to the table for this game. But so far, Hongtao has looked very strong.
He's looked really technically superior as well when they've gotten into exchanges. There with the wild backhand. His backhand can be erratic. He goes for big shots on that wing, sometimes ill-advised.
Very nice backhand flip over the table. I think you were mentioning earlier, Han, that throughout Adam's junior career, he was really kind of living in his backhand corner and using that to not only open up points, but to finish them, and he's really had to make a change over the last few years.
Absolutely. He really thrived on not only backhand punching, but really ripping backhands down the line for openings, and he really didn't hold back on that backhand side. Since then, he's really mostly spun the backhand and blocked on the backhand side, not really as much power as he used to have on that corner.
Almost like an Andre Agassi style in tennis, where he's liking to tee off, but as you pointed out also, he's just recently come off of a major knee issue and is forced to maybe change his tactics a little bit.
I think more than the knee issue was the amount of time he had to take off of table tennis due to that ACL surgery that he had. Any player who takes some time out of the sport and then tries to come back is bound to play stylistically a little bit different than they did before taking that time off. And there with a strong opening of a medium ball. He wants to remain aggressive. Hongtao seems to have a lot of trouble timing any sort of counterattacks off of Adam's loops. Amazing recovery from Adam, a little bit off balance there. Didn't expect the deep push, but still able to get his racket on it.
It almost looked like right off of the serve he had lost his balance. But what a strong scrambler he is.
But that missed serve there really cost him the opportunity to get a 4-point advantage, now just 5-3 up. But Sean, it really goes back to what I said earlier. He was just jumping into the table. He has to know that Hongtao's not the type of player to drop a lot of his serves short.
That's pure power right there. I mean, beautiful step around. Even though Adam had an idea it was going cross court, unable to put a racket on it.
Hongtao again with the power. He does have a lot of it. Not afraid to use it. Sometimes it gets him into trouble because he doesn't know when to take the juice off, but there it's serving him very well.
Han, from a mental standpoint, knowing that the 2 spots for singles have already been taken from his teammates, would you expect that he might have any trouble with motivation playing, or do you think the 3rd spot from the team event is what's solely driving him right now?
I think that 3rd spot is driving him to some degree. I know they want to put themselves in as strong position as possible to get that 3rd spot, but also all these players have a tremendous amount of pride. I don't think anybody's going to lie down having gotten to this stage. I think he feels like he needs to redeem himself for really 2 upset losses in the previous 2 phases of the competition.
I would definitely agree with that. Those are excellent points.
And coming into this tournament, I would have expected Hongtao to be one of the clear favorites. He's technically just so far superior to a lot of the other players in this competition. But as you said, he just has these mental lapses where you don't know whether he's going to play down to the level of the competition.
I think that's true of a lot of players that learn the game in China, then come over to either North America or even some of the South American countries where our level isn't quite so high, so they're never sure whether they need to keep that constant pressure or if they can actually win some points without doing much, and then it puts them kind of a funk in between fighting for every single ball.
Adam with a great 1-2 punch there, a little bit lucky on the first ball, but pressing his advantage. As long as he can heavy spin that first ball, Hongtao still doesn't have an answer for that shot.
Adam with the 1-point lead right now in game number 2.
There's one of those serves, and Hongtao definitely expecting something like that this time, but Adam able to take the point.
Almost seems like there's a small split second where Adam has to wait to see what Hongtao is going to do because it's such a surprise serve.
And that's what I'm talking about, Sean. At the end of their previous meeting, Adam fell into this funk of feeling like he had to hit for power, and that's exactly the wrong route to go against someone like Hongtao, who likes to use your pace. Adam, of course, certainly not lacking for motivation at this stage after dropping the first match in the round robin. His back is really against the wall here.
Be interesting to see how aggressive he is on the serve, knowing that he is capable of throwing in some interesting
fearless counterattack there from Adam. Good solid spin from Hongtao, but just turning the corner and ripping it with his forehand.
Adam with a great fish to the backcourt to even it up at 1 game apiece. 11-9. He's got to be pleased with that last return. Let's get a chance to hear from Adam Hugh prior to the competition.
I got started when I was around 10 years old. My mom, Lily Yip, she was an Olympian 2 times, 92 and 96. She was my coach when I was younger, and she got myself and my sister involved.
I know Lily is definitely watching the matches on the webcast stream. We've seen Judy have some tough luck so far in this competition. She's got another placement match to play. But Adam's looking much stronger right now after taking game 2 against Hongtao. Staying a little closer to the table, but at the same time really using his athletic ability to keep the ball in play.
Able to get far more attacking opportunities and take advantage of them in game number 2. He looked ready to hit the ball, unlike the end of game 1.
What an amazing fight to try to return that ball.
Adam's been known to be a great retriever. One of the tournaments last year, he actually won a point at 10-9 in the 7th by diving on the floor twice in succession to retrieve net balls at the North American Team Championships to win the match. So when he does that, always a crowd-pleasing moment.
Of course, even though we are playing on a nice Tinsu floor, that's on cement below the rubber surface, so clearly something that will take a toll on your body.
There's that power from Hongtao. Really able to hit through Adam, which is not something a lot of players in North American can say.
And Adam really not putting that much pressure on him. I mean, after the serve, kind of floating back into a defensive stance.
Good controlled play from Hongtao there. Dealt with the long serve very easily, not taking a big swing at it. Just staying close to the table. Adam backing away a little too far for my liking here.
And even still a little bit on his heels when he's backing up. He should be really leaning forward if you're that far off the table.
That backhand return, Adam works so much on that particular banana flip. Tries to load it up with as much spin as possible, but I've seen it break down in this competition several times when he's really needed it to come through. Hongtao, they're almost challenging Adam to hit through him from that distance. Adam's, again, just backing up a little bit far on his heels. And he doesn't really have a power game, it's more of a spin game. Hongtao just saying, well, try to hit it through me.
Almost playing a little bit of like a Kong Ling Hui type of, let's see if you can jam it past me, and if you can, I'm going to just put the constant pressure on you and let you do all the work.
But Adam making an adjustment on the last 2 points, taking the ball earlier, bringing his body forward, coming over the ball, and it's paid off.
Both these players played in the recent World Championships in Dortmund, Germany. So quite a bit of international experience behind both players. Adam a little frustrated at that shot selection.
Interesting that speaking with Adam about the World Championships, he mentioned that he lost to a couple of defensive players. And we saw the U.S. women having a lot of trouble with Chris Hugh, the Canadian chopper, probably due to a lack of match experience against that style, and Adam reflecting similar frustration to me when we discussed his experience in Dortmund.
I know you mentioned, Han, about Adam having some difficulty with the choppers, but I think playing Liu's song from Argentina, really not that bad of a loss, but clearly Team USA battling for every spot that they can get, especially against a number of the countries from our own hemisphere.
There, the reverse pendulum serve actually working for Hongtao. Adam misjudging the spin. There's actually not very much spin on that serve.
Adam staying involved in this game, trying to tie it up. Now with the serve. Very nice combination there. It's nice to see him go with the traditional serve and just try to fight to get that first spin in and then hold on to the attack.
He's gone with that a couple games in a row now. Going to that sort of medium high toss, heavy backspin, side spin serve. He likes that serve in crunch time. It's very difficult to do anything with.
Here it looks like he put a little bit of more side or side top on the ball, causing Hongtao to float it off the end of the table by lifting it up.
Hongtao just not sure whether it's the heavy backspin again, a little bit hesitant even after reading the spin.
Well, I think, Han, as you mentioned, Adam gets so much spin on his inside-out reverse pendulum serve that when he goes to the regular one, you're really not sure how much spin is on it.
Absolutely.
That's just great table control there. Hongtao over the table, playing to a middle, and backing Adam off the table.
And there, Hongtao takes game number 3 to get a 2-game-to-1 lead. I think that's just a case of having a routine, a sort of set play at the end of the game. That's something that the American players really suffer from a lack of sometimes. Back to the Hongtao and Adam Hugh match. Adam starting off game number 4 strong with a strong defensive play. Again, anticipating Hongtao going down the line with that forehand.
That's the book that we've seen on Hongtao, sometimes just not really stepping around the ball and not necessarily going halfway through the motion, but not moving the necessary steps required to get that offense going.
And it's not really a foot speed issue with him. We've seen him in matches where he's moved incredibly quickly. I think it's more just unsure where the ball is going and a little bit slow to react.
Adam not even touching that ball on a deep push to the forehand.
A little bit of a mishit serve. With the amount of spin he tries to get on the serve, sometimes can get away from him a little bit. That time just kind of catching edge of his racket slightly.
Adam going for a bit of a side spin block from the backcourt. He's definitely been creating some interesting angles since we've last seen him with both his new serves and some of his off-the-table defensive shots.
And that time, it just looked like he made up his mind too early. He made up his mind that he wanted to go for an aggressive play with the backhand and just didn't move. It's just not the right serve to go for that particular shot off of unless you're going to commit to it and move all the way.
Right, those predetermined shot selections generally at this level will not pay off because you have to give away what you're going to do with your body a little bit. And these players will pick up those subtle changes and then just keep moving you to the edge to where the shot just doesn't exist. That's a nice, powerful forehand. So Han, was there any discussion from Hongtao? Did he change his racket or rubber, or is he just going with the same stuff that was giving him some issues in the first two tournaments?
He has actually changed his rubber to a new sheet since then, so hopefully there are no lingering mental effects of playing with that bubbling sheet earlier. And what's interesting is apparently he doesn't have a spare racket, which is really just outrageous for this level of play.
I know most players like to play with the same blade or racket for multiple years. They don't change them on a regular basis. And probably just never took the time to put one together. But I will tell you, as a player who's used Chinese rubber, it normally takes at least 4 to 6 hours to break in. And he really hasn't shown any signs of difficulty, but not an easy thing to do compared to the Japanese or possibly the European rubber, which is consistent sheet from sheet.
With credit to Hongtao, he's still hanging in the match, trying to fight. It would be easy for a different player in this situation to say, well, the singles spots have been taken up by my teammates, and really I don't have as much to fight for. But his match is important to so many other players in this tournament, and credit to him, he's continuing to provide a good fight here. Still up 2-1, now 6-all in this fourth game.
I spoke to the head of the Canadian contingent, and they decided for their third place team member, since they do have that luxury now, they're going with the highest world ranked player, so it won't be decided here. But the question is, will Eugene Wong, their third-ranked world player, will he become eligible? And if he doesn't, then it'll go to the next highest player, which I guess is Hongtao. Beautiful over-the-table attack. Just solid technique.
Hongtao dealing with Adam's serves a lot better so far this game, not really giving away as many openings.
Really taking his time nicely.
Even though he missed that backhand, see Adam come out with another new serve, and he's not just pulling those out of the back, he actually practices all of these serves. Having trained with him, I've seen him work on that particular serve before.
And Hongtao going up 3-1.
Adam showing a little bit of frustration there, throwing his racket onto the table.
Going to get a chance to hear about Adam's preparation for these games. Let's go to the videotape.
I've been preparing for quite some time for the trials. Pretty much since I graduated about a year and a half ago, and just been prepping for the February trials, and since then for here, just every day trying to put some table time in.
Of course, Adam, one of the fiercest competitors here at this tournament, and I can personally attest to the number of hours he's put in training for this event. Going to the Olympics has been a dream of his for a long time now, and he's worked very hard to try to make that a reality. He's in a little bit of a hole here, down 1-3, and having dropped the first match in the round robin, so his back is up against the wall. He needs to win this game at least to remain alive.
As well as he'll need some help from Hongtao to win the next match against Barney as well. Very well played there.
That's Adam at his best when he takes the chance to run around that backhand, take that forehand counterattack down the line.
That's a nice opening there by Adam as well. That's just, again, pure power and such compact and beautiful technique. No wasted motion.
You just can't give him that ball over the table like that. You're almost better off just pushing out to him and getting the ball deep. He's forced to really step around.
And that's one thing you see time and time again from the Chinese trained players is starting at such a young age, they never overhit or try to muscle a ball. They always let it get to the perfect height before committing to the ball, and then they're balanced after the shot, which makes it even more lethal if you do happen to get it back. Adam with some great scrambling.
He's going to build momentum off of those points where he's able to win, not free points, but he's working for those points. He's retrieving and forcing the opponent into an error.
Beautiful recovery off the first strong loop by Hongtao.
Just about to say Hongtao needs to mix in a deep serve now or sometime soon, because Adam's actually riding right over the table on some of these serves, ready to return the short ball.
Adam with a little misdirection off the short forehand, tried to follow it up with the exact same move. I just don't see how Adam is able to get his wrist cocked back so far on that inside-out serve. Just amazing, the flexibility or dexterity.
Also has to do with Adam's serve grip. He has a somewhat unorthodox serve grip that really allows him to get that wrist cocked back like that. But to get any serve to that point where you can just use it at will and be very confident in it, of course, takes years of practice.
Now, one other aspect you mentioned, Han, was that you felt that Adam, especially both as a junior and an adult player, was willing to add new serves to his game on a regular basis. Most players keep their same set of serves usually once they leave the junior ranks. You had said that he definitely is willing to try new serves and work on them and practice them to add them as a new element to his game.
It's definitely true of Adam. He's not afraid to add new things, and he's not afraid to use those things in a match, which is to his credit, because the easy way is always to go with what you know and what's safe. It's that heavy backspin serve again. He likes to go to that. And Adam's serves are unique in that he has a large variation between his spin and his no-spin or topspin serves. Sometimes it can hurt him a little bit.
So far in this game, he's continuing to dodge the final bullet. He must win this game, otherwise he'll have 2 losses in a 3-player round robin, and that will not be good enough to advance.
Barely off the end with that forehand counterattack. He's in good position to actually retrieve that ball. Just a little bit more spin and power than he thought.
Backing away from the table much too easily.
Adam really letting a couple of opportunities slip this game. A couple of leads now. From 8-6 now back to 8-all.
Very strong recovery after that first loop by Adam, but Hongtao continuing to put pressure on him. Much more pressure than he's seen from any other player in the tournament.
Adam takes the timeout. He needs to actually go back to using his heavy spins on those last couple of openings. He's opening a little bit too fast, which is counterintuitive, but Hongtao on the backhand side really loves that pace going to his racket for the block, and is able to block Adam out of position. Of course, Adam so close to going out of this competition, feeling that he needs a timeout just to steady the ship a little bit, try to get through this game.
It'll be interesting to see if he comes out blazing or if he plays a little bit more passive and tentative, realizing if he does make a mistake, the match will be over.
I think he needs to be aggressive, but I think it would be a mistake to go for full power. We've seen obviously doesn't work against a player like Hongtao, who can just sit in that corner and use your pace. Very good at that. At the same time, Adam doesn't want to play passive. He wants to really go for a lot of spin on that first opening.
Adam has the serve. 8 trailing 9. Hongtao with a very nice short drop shot. Adam stepping in, but really not to the side of the ball all that much.
That heavy backspin serve almost outstaying its welcome a little bit. He's used it over and over again. Hongtao obviously stepped in expecting that serve. He's able to make a very good drop shot. 2 match points for Hongtao.
And Hongtao is now through, or at least with that victory. He still has Barney Reed, but Adam is out with 2 losses. He will not be advancing to the semifinals. So Barney Reed Jr. and Hongtao Chen still have 1 match to play in the round robin pool, but both of them will be advancing.